The guitar, a spiritual six-string sonic powerhouse. Millions of players dream about emulating their heroes and performing on the grand stage, and Guitar Star is back to make those dreams a reality. This year we're going to be making an even bigger noise, with the help of some guitar and music industry legends. 10-time Grammy Award-winning jazz guitar great George Benson.
Being who I am and where I came from, I know what potential can mean.
Award-winning classical virtuoso Milos.
I think I'm going to be the toughest one of the three. All my friend knows that I always say what I think.
And myself, rock producer Tony Visconti. Over the following weeks, we'll be joined by a host of other heavyweight headline acts from the guitar world.
You play, give it all you've got from here.
Showmanship, to me, is really important.
The minute you hear them playing, you get one note and you know who it is.
What I always look for in a great guitarist is somebody who can make me feel something.
You manage to take that emotion and transfer it into somebody else. That's what technique is.
Together, we'll be finding incredible talent, then mentoring and honing their skills until just one great guitarist emerges, ready to take on the ultimate prize, performing on the main stage at Latitude Festival this summer. This is Guitar Star. Out of hundreds of auditionees, we selected the 8 best to take through with us. Throughout the series, they're going to find out what it takes to be a guitar star, as some of music's biggest stars become their mentors. This week, they're teaming up with 2 amazing musicians, Wilco Johnson and Leanne LaHavis, who are going to teach them about bringing creativity into their guitar playing.
Man Blues!
Today, our 8 guitarists are at London's O2 Kentish Town Forum. The Forum is one of the capital's most popular venues, having played host to the likes of David Bowie, Noel Gallagher, and Amy Winehouse. Opened in the 1930s as a cinema, it has since become a destination for live music, including tonight's sold-out headliner, Wilco Johnson.
Right.
As part of bands like Dr. Feelgood, Solid Senders and the Blockheads, Johnson was at the forefront of the pub rock scene and was a pioneering punk rocker as the movement emerged in the UK in the 1970s. In late 2012, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and was given less than a year to live. He embarked on a farewell tour and recorded an album with The Who's Roger Daltrey. But after undergoing radical surgery, he was declared cancer-free by 2014. Since then, he's continued to tour, much to the delight of his fans who are fully aware of his legacy.
I think it's probably true to say that Dr. Feelgood was the starting point of the punk thing. Most of the punk guys were really absolute beginners, right? And they just didn't have the technique to play a lot of these things. But what they could see in Dr. Feelgood was that you can make music and you can make excitement with the most simple of things. You just need some drums and a couple of guitars and you're away. When I began to learn to play, I heard the guitar of Mick Green from Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. I was knocked out by the sound of this guitar on a record. And then when I found out that it was just one guy doing it, he didn't have lead guitar and rhythm guitar, just one guy, I thought, whoa, I want to do that. What makes a guitar star? I don't know. I mean, to me, obviously it's somebody who is doing something I'm not and I wish I could. I mean, I like to think of myself as a good rhythm guitarist, but I listen to Johnny Hook and I thought, if I could do that. I can't do that, but, you know, thank goodness there are people in this world who are so much better than us. Otherwise, what would we have to enjoy ourselves with, see? Well, hello, everybody. I'm Wilco Johnson. I believe I've got a... I'll tell you everything I know, which... so if you've got to spare 5 minutes, we can do that.
Do you always use fingers? Do you ever use a pick or picks?
I don't use a pick. The reason is I am actually left-handed.
All right,
and when I started off, I was playing this way round, right? And oh man, I was useless. I mean, I was really slow to pick it up. Yeah. And everybody at school could play better than me. And then one day I got a chance to buy a rather better guitar. It was a right-handed one. I thought, what I will do is I'll teach myself to play right-handed, right? And oh man, it's hard. It's just so, because it's so counterintuitive. You can't even pick the bloody thing. You're trying to pick it, you go, hang on. You know, you can't even pick it up. It took a long time, but yeah. Eventually I got the hang of playing it that way round, and in the process I couldn't actually hang on to, it was all too much, pointing the guitar that way and holding onto a plectrum, so I just figured it out.
Can I just ask, what's the key to working well with your band when you're playing live?
The best thing to do is get really good musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm just a skiffler, right? I mean, these guys can play, you know, I could just go like that and it's just... I think the important thing actually is to all be mates. Really, then the whole thing could be a real laugh.
Could you tell us a bit about the gig that's going to happen tonight? Like, what's it going to be like, and are you excited about it?
When you're doing a gig, you kind of you walk on the stage and you kind of you just drop your everyday personality. You know what you are, and you become this thing. You know, a very one-dimensional almost thing. You know, that's twanging on a guitar. But hopefully it's going to be a good one.
I'm sure it will be.
I hope I don't disappoint. Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
After meeting Wilco, the guitarists now get the privilege of watching his gig from the side of the stage.
Seeing Wilco perform tonight, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, and just to know that he's there, and I love the stuff he does as well, so I think it's going to be really great.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Wilco perform. Just getting a glimpse of it is great, but I imagine it's going to be a really good vibe in there.
Good evening.
I want you to know I really like the way you move. I wanna get you, girl, don't matter what you do. Walk in a zigzag, try not to step on the square. And close your eyes every time that you climb my stair. You can shimmy when you put on your shoes, I just don't care. You really got me so confused, the way you're walking in your shoes. I get the locomotive blues, but I feel alright, alright. Not too much, I just can't take the strain. I feel like I gotta head for the railway train. The only one put me on my feet again. You really got me so confused, the way you're walking in your shoes. I get the locomotive blues, I feel alright, alright.
I really enjoyed the gig tonight. Being, so close up, you could feel the energy. The audience was so receptive, and you could see that, from his guitar playing, like he was just so in sync with the audience. It was incredible.
The thing that got me about his stage presence was how he danced around, looked at every face in the crowd, made connection with every face, and let them all smile. And how he's dancing around, he was just into the music rather than it being a job. I think it's more of a passion to him, and that's just inspirational.
Having been on stage with Wilco, I'm really excited about working with him one-on-one. It'd be great to show him what I can do. I'm also a blues guy, so I'll be very interested in his comments to see what he thinks about how I play and to chat with him about his own playing.
Our 8 guitarists are learning about how to bring creativity into their playing. They're being given a masterclass by Wilco Johnson and singer-songwriter Leanne LaHavis in how to bring that creative flair into their performances, ahead of an intimate Leanne gig later on this evening. Leanne LaHavis is an award-winning London-based singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. She released her debut album, Is Your Love Big Enough, in 2012 to critical acclaim, and has since gone on to tour around the world and play at numerous festivals, including Latitude, where the winner of Guitar Star will perform. Prince once held a press conference to announce his UK tour in her living room. After discovering Leanne on YouTube, she went on to feature heavily on his album, Artificial Age.
The guitar, to me, is my way of expressing myself. Other than singing, it's like my whole self can have a sound other than my voice. I was very lucky to be given a guitar when I was about 7 years old. The thing about it was, I just really wanted to play piano instead. For some reason, when I was a kid, I thought that guitar was only for boys and that I wouldn't know what to do with it. But when I was 18, I joined a band, something of a girl group, and I was accompanying the main singer on backing vocals. And basically, I just saw her play, and I just thought it was amazing, and I didn't realise that a guitar could sound like that. It just felt really different and fresh and fascinating to me.
I'm really excited to be mentored by Leanne. I'm looking forward to asking her a few things about her creativity, her creative process, so really looking forward to it.
I think Leanne will inspire me simply because I've noticed that she works in all these different genres and different styles, and that's one thing I need to work on.
This is my favourite. When I bought this, I felt like I found my sound. I know it's confusing, but I felt like it made me play better, but also want to play better. I wanted to do right by it. And I named it Connie after my grandmother. So this one's called Tease Me. dream never stops, but I see the end before I wake up. Oh, the dream never wins, no. So I pray for yesterday, and I haven't slept a wink since. I never know what I want, what I need. So I think it's best you stay away from me, 'cause I hate the way you tease me. I am not lonely, I'm alright, but you sure don't make it easy to show my hand and say goodnight.
I was just wondering whether we could see some of your guitar techniques and stuff.
Okay. A thing that's, I won't play the whole song, but a thing that springs to mind, which I was particularly proud of when I made it up, was a guitar part from one of my songs called Midnight. It has harmonics in it, and I love harmonics, and I love the challenge of trying to work them into a guitar part.
I know you do acoustic and electric guitar.
Yes.
I was just wondering, well, which you prefer and how do you master both of them?
If I had to prefer one, I'd prefer the electric guitar. I guess you just have a bit more versatility, perhaps. I mean, obviously it depends on the way you look at it, but I love that you can just make it into whatever using all the amazing technology that we have.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you can kind of hear the in-between parts of what you're doing and all the slides and all of the tapping, and you can use it really percussively, and I don't know, just I love the freedom that it brings me.
Following Leanne, Wilco gives his perspective on creative guitar playing.
When you're playing regularly, tours, things like that, and you're playing night after night, of course it's very easy to get a certain repertoire organised and go through it. But we usually have a couple of numbers in there, like longer numbers that stretch out where we can actually improvise. And so you will be seeing a different thing each night there. But I do try to do it with feeling, you know. Right. Try to get away from the feeling that I'm just running through tricks like a circus animal or something.
Would you mind playing something?
Playing?
Yeah.
Most of you'll be familiar with this chord, this kind of chord, like this. Yeah. Well, don't play it like that. I play it like that, right. What this actually does is it kind of frees your... Now you play a chord. Like that. By lifting your fingers and lifting your thumb, you can cut the chord off. Like that. Also, my right hand just keeps going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, absolutely regularly, like a metronome. There. And then, as I say, if you press your fingers down, you get a chord. If you don't press them down, it stops it. So you get... And if you want to go even further, if it comes to a solo, you keep doing the same thing. Keep that going like that and just... I think that just kept going like that. It's very, very simple. You know, I wrote a good song with this riff. That's open A string, and then those two up there. So you got that, and these A and E strings are kind of free, and you get this. Just like that.
What actually kind of like stimulates that initial spark of creativity for you? Like, do you feel like it's kind of, you know, like the environment that you're in?
When you go on stage and you start to play, I always think that all of your everyday personality goes away from you. It goes away. You know, the guy that goes down the corner shop and buys a bottle of milk or something, just gone. Right? Just one thing left is this thing making this noise. And if you can be in that state, and then also you've got a big partisan audience, it's like there's no feeling like it. You know, you're sort of walking on and people are cheering. And there's no point in lying about it. It feels really good.
Yeah.
You know?
down the road.
We're in London's live music mecca, Camden, where the 8 guitarists have been having a masterclass with Leanne LaHavis and Wilco Johnson at the Proud Gallery. They now get some one-on-one time with the mentors to help hone their skills and work on their creativity. Hoping to impress Wilco Johnson is blues guitarist Steve Morrison.
I began playing guitar at a very early age, and there are stories that I would hold my father's guitar like a bass guitar as a toddler. But I think it was around 4 years old that I began to learn. My father played folk music and country music, that was his thing. So he would show me little things each day, and my guitar playing grew very sort of naturally, and it was a gift in a sense because I didn't really have to learn. I was just around guitars and I would pick up little things. I did a lot of busking, and that really was where I built up my strength and stamina, because when you're busking, you have an audience and don't have an audience. You have that in-between thing. Some people are coming along the street, so then you think, all right, I'll start playing my good stuff. My guitar dream is really connected to winning an audience. It's very much to do with the people that I meet and the people that I get to play for. And in that way, I think musicians are gifted because you get to touch people and talk to them, communicate in a way that can often be difficult in ordinary life.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm really excited to be mentored by Wilco Johnson today. I know he comes from a similar sort of blues background. There's something simple about his approach, but it's not unsophisticated. So I think there's something to be learned from his attitude to his music, and I want to capture some of that for myself.
Steve's the kind of guitarist that excites me because he's playing. He's got an individual style. You know, it's a blues style, but he's got his own way of doing it. And I mean, he was giving me a couple of little, you know, like little flash bits that make all the difference. That's nice. Hey.
Cheers, Wilco. From you, that means a lot. Now, would you mind if we jammed a piece?
All right. Tell me what key.
See. Show Wilco some of the little blues techniques I use for rhythm playing, and he seemed genuinely impressed. I mean, so much so that he was happy to jam with me, and we got round a few choruses, and it sounded really, really good. One more time, eh? Last word's always yours.
Sam, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. I'm so excited for whatever you've got to share. So please, take it away. That was amazing.
Thank you.
You have got it.
Oh,
What you do is you go into the music, and that to watch happening in real life. There's nothing more magical.
Leanne helped me with the confidence to know that I am putting a lot into my pieces. I think, if anything, it's shown me that I can just do more of what I'm doing and just really try and get into that zone of just enjoying the music in almost every performance that I do.
Saints playing's fab, you know, and it's got electric bits and it's got this bits and that bits, and I hope it succeeds fabulously.
I thought he was a stunning player. I think he's a star. And I loved how he flipped a metal song on its head and played it beautifully on classical guitar.
Pleasure, thank you. Wilco, I'd just like to ask you about songwriting. How do you approach songwriting?
I think in almost every case, when I've written a song, it started with a guitar riff. Now, you sit there and just something like that, what I was playing, or of course you can get guitar riff going in your head, you know, or walking on the road with it, and you listen to this guitar riff, and it will be telling you some words. It will be, for instance, it will have a kind of mood to it. It might be angry, it might be happy, it might be silly, or whatever it is, and you've got to shape your lyrics into the mood, and how the rest of it happens is just a miracle. Usually starts with one idea, usually starts with a riff, and then you get one line, and then you're on it. Jake is a kind of a much more modern player than I myself. Well, he seemed to have a good knowledge of his fretboard and his improvisation. Maybe he could just occasionally hang on a moment, leave a bar and a half tacit, you know, because that gives him a surprise. Just stop for a bit and do it again. But I think he played fine.
I responded particularly to Edison's voicings on the guitar, and I enjoyed watching him play and jamming with him. I think he's mega talented.
Today Leon described my guitar as a piece of vintage furniture, and we jammed together, yeah, I really had a great time.
He's got this style, this kind of a mixture of all sorts, really. You can hear a bit of folk, you can hear a bit of dance, you can, you know, there's any effects which goes into technological realms that are far beyond me. It can be a danger because you can press in an effect and suddenly all sorts of things are happening, but anybody can press that button.
He said that effects can make people sound all the same quite a lot of the time, and to be honest, I agree. So I'll be extra careful to make sure that I'm using my effects as creatively as possible, which is something I already tried to do, but, you know, it'll be there at the forefront of my mind for the next little while, definitely.
The 8 guitarists have spent the last few days in the company of our mentors, Wilco Johnson and Leanne LaHavis, who've been coaching in the art of creativity. Next to meet Leanne is Becky Langen.
I'm more of an online musician. I use YouTube as a platform to expose my music to kind of like audiences across the world. I've always loved playing on my own. I love just, you know, sitting in my room playing the guitar. It's kind of like my outlet. Some of the techniques I like to use, definitely a lot of percussion. I love percussion, for example. You can also do scratching techniques, which is hence why I have this. I never felt like I was kind of good enough to get out there, so my logic was just to sit in my room and play and play and play. I do feel like I've reached that stage where I'm happy to perform in front of people, and I feel confident with the music that I'm putting out there.
Wow, oh my God, oh, thank you. That's just so fresh. Oh my God. I haven't heard the steel strings played like that.
Yeah, it's quite a unique style.
I loved the groove as well.
Oh, thank you.
It was really hypnotic.
Yeah. One problem that I do have though is in terms of creativity, it can take me, I don't know if this is normal, but sometimes up to a year to write a composition.
Yeah, it's really funny you said that, because it can take me sometimes a year of having an idea. Sometimes I've had an idea for 4 years, and it just needs to be the right time to use it. It might be a while before you think of how to structure it. So I think the best thing is not to force it necessarily.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome, Becky. That was so awesome.
Well, Sam's obviously a musician, somebody who's actually trained and does his 4 or 6 hours practice a day and everything, and is very competent, very good. And a young guy, you know, like who knows where he could go.
To see Wilko Johnson playing in front of thousands of people only a couple of days ago, it was such a privilege to play actually to him personally. You know, those opportunities don't come around very often, so it was great.
I thought Jake's playing was stunning. It's amazing that he's so young as well and has such incredible discipline, and I think it's very, very inspiring, and he has a great sound. I loved it.
Becky's got a quite individual and unusual style of playing. My brother's a classical guitarist, and he sometimes does bits, something like that, but she's made the whole thing out of it. I mean, I couldn't fault her playing.
A tip that you did give me is to kind of, you know, just look up and kind of acknowledge your audience and, you know, try and connect with them more. So I feel like that's something that I'm going to try and incorporate into my music.
He's got a kind of an unusual trick he's doing, which is this electrifying flamenco. Look, the only thing I would say is, like, nothing wrong with throwing out a bit of you know, it's a bit of showmanship. Just look at the people.
Wilko told me that I should definitely become a lot looser when I'm playing, a lot more natural, kind of like to really feel the music, if you know what I mean.
Can I ask?
Yes.
About your guitar? It's amazing.
I'm glad you like it. It's the devil from the front, but it's an angel from the back. You know, so,
Can I?
Are you kidding me? I was embarrassed to ask you.
No.
It'll be an honor. Can I?
No, of course.
Oh my goodness. Should we play something?
I don't know if
I'll
I'm
play a
going to
groove,
be able to.
and you play whatever you want over it.
The jamming with Leanne was an absolute treat. Leanne's got it going on rhythmically, tonally. There's a lot of subtlety and nuance in her music, and it was incredible, inspirational, and I hope I get to meet her again.
You are insanely talented.
No,
oh my God.
Thank you so much.
It felt really, really natural to jam with Zayn. I just sort of played what I like the sound of, and he also seemed to like that. And I don't know, that was a really, really nice union of guitars there. And I'm really chuffed that he liked my guitar, because I really liked his guitar. So I am very inspired, basically, by everybody. And I loved the diversity of everybody's styles, and it's been absolutely incredible.
I don't like to say this guy's good or technically better, because there's so much of it that is to do with feel. And what we've been talking about on this occasion is actually presenting this music in front of people. And in the end, that's a test of it. How does it grab the people, you know? And it could be any one of them. You just don't know who's going to grab the people.
As a final treat, the guitarists get the chance to see Leanne perform in one of London's most intimate venues, the Lock Tavern, which has previously played host to the likes of Adele and Florence and the Machine.
It's been an exceptional experience, you know, just meeting with Leanne, meeting with Wilko, and just performing for both of them, as well as sharing ideas. So I've gained a lot from it.
Wilko's kind of no-nonsense, energetic kind of style of playing is taught me really about that, bringing energy to my music. And Leanne, on the other hand, was really taught me things about this certain sophistication and subtlety and the lightness that could be involved in music.
Hi everyone, I'm Leanne, and I'm very excited to be doing this. This one is called Midnight. Long and lonely journey to my hideaway, and I know that What's that they say? Getting lost in another time. You're ahead in mine. In my own world, on my own time. Maybe that's why people think I'm crazy. Lately I'm living in midnight. Just living in midnight. And if you think I'm crazy, they had no mind. We're living in midnight. Just living in midnight. If you could see what I've seen, you would dare to dream. Honey, if you care to join me, come meet the team. And you all could be my army. There's no other way. So come now, hurry, hurry, and don't miss this train. People think I'm crazy. Lately I'm living in midnight. Just living in midnight. And if you think I'm crazy, pay it no mind. Oh, you'll never know the places I go when I'm alone. If only for a moment, only for a while.
I really love seeing Leanne tonight because she's really inspiring, she's really great, and I think that I definitely like to start writing my own stuff in the future, like almost definitely as good as what she does.
Leanne's gig was incredible. You know, it was up close, it was intimate, the vibe was just amazing, and you know, she really does connect with the audience.
Leanne's stage presence was brilliant. She knew what she was doing up there the whole time. She trusted her playing, her compositions. Brilliant, brilliant.
It was really incredible just to watch her play all the melodic chords while she's singing. As a singer, I know that's a hard thing to do, and watching her doing it, it was really wants me to try and do it more.
People think I'm crazy. Lately I'm living in midnight. Just living in midnight. And if you think I'm crazy, pay it no mind. You'll never know the places I go when I'm alone. Thank you.
Next time on Guitar Star, the 8 become 5 when they play a live gig at London's Coco, and we only take through the very best guitarists.
Richard Strauss said the human voice is the most beautiful instrument of all, but it is the most difficult to play. Soundbreaking takes a closer look, brand new, next on Sky Arts.